So after Nick Ball's win over TJ Doheny, Naoya Inoue and Nick Ball are actually having a little bit of back and forth on X at the moment. And we're going to go through that. And I'm going to explain why I don't think Nick Ball has any chance of beating Inoue. But I'm not sure if Inoue wants the Nick Ball fight anytime soon, though, in general. I'm not sure if it is part of his general plans. He's not scared of Nick Ball at all. He would definitely bloody beat him. But from a tweet that we have seen, though, I'm not sure if it fully is in Inoue's plans as of now. It might be, though. I mean, Inoue did tweet out about the fight first. Inoue did say that Ball is funny, but don't kick it. Obviously, going at Nick the Kicker Ball from last night. I don't know why this is the bloody first image of the thing that's there. Like, Inoue didn't get off the canvas and win that fight anyway. Nick Ball then responded to it. When you're ready, kick it at 126. Let me know. And Inoue said, 2 fists are enough for me. And then Ball says, let's make it happen and find out then. Then Inoue says, until that day comes, let's increase each other's value. That's what I don't get about from Inoue. I mean, Ball wants the fight now. I mean, of course he does. Inoue's where the money is. And for Inoue, there's other fights that he can do before the Nick Ball fight. I don't really think there's any point rushing into it anyway. And it's understandable that I don't think it's in Inoue's plans as of right now. I mean, he's got to go up against Robin Cardenas first. Then, it's been said that he's going to possibly be going up against MJ in September or something like that. And then you never know, 2026, we might see the Nick Ball fight. But you never know, Inoue might go a different way at featherweight instead. I don't know before the Nick Ball fight comes about. But yeah, so I don't know if that is fully part of Inoue's plans right now. But then you also do think Inoue did tweet out about the fight. Inoue had his eyes on Nick Ball. Inoue, was watching the fight. Inoue was interested in it. He was paying an interest. But it's like, is that fully in Inoue's plans right now after that final tweet? I don't think so. But I reckon 2026 is going to happen. And it's not because Inoue's scared or anything like that. Inoue would take the fight no matter what. But, right now, Inoue's focused on other things. And I feel like that's clear to see. But Nick Ball wants the fight next. And, as I said, I don't blame him. Of course he wants the fight next. But, yeah, if I'm being completely honest here, I think Naoya Inoue would absolutely destroy Nick Ball and walk through it. Especially after watching last night as well. It made me more confident that Naoya Inoue would win the fight convincingly. And I reckon Inoue could do it early as well. I'm not saying out of hate for Nick Ball. I'm literally just being honest here. I think Inoue is going to be too good, too slick for him. And, Nick Ball's got a style that can cause anyone problems, like he has. But when it comes down to fighting someone like Inoue, he's going to walk onto too many shots, and Inoue's timing is going to be too good for him. Inoue's good on the front foot. Inoue's good on the back foot as well. I feel like Nick Ball will be in trouble. I think Inoue hits too hard. I think Inoue's going to be too quick. And at times, I just feel like Nick Ball might be a bit too slow with his movement for Inoue as well. And I feel like, he's going to be there for counters, especially early on. Nick Ball's good at drumming his way into fights. But I feel like Inoue can punish him and break him down early on. That's the thing. And I feel like at times as well, Ball might be a bit too predictable for Inoue. And I feel like with Ball, he's going to be doing the same thing over and over again. And I feel like, it's just going to get too repetitive. And Inoue is just going to be too smart for him. In my opinion, I think Inoue's probably got the best boxing IQ in boxing right now. I mean, there's many, but I probably would edge that to Naoya Inoue as of now anyway, having the best boxing IQ in boxing. I think... I just think Inoue's too smart. I think Inoue's too slick for Nick Ball. But again, Nick Ball's going to keep on coming at you no matter what. And Nick Ball's very tough. He's got a good chin on him and all. But, I mean, look at the success that Doheny was able to get early on in the fight against Ball. Imagine what Inoue is going to be able to do against Nick Ball. I just feel like when you're running at Inoue, it's there. He's going to be there for the taking for Inoue. And I feel like he's got the style for Inoue that Inoue can have a field day with. I mean, Nick Ball's as I said, he's got a style that can cause anyone problems. And he's very good at closing the gap down. But this is Naoya Inoue that we're talking about that he's going to be going up against. it's a completely different story to going up against TJ Doheny. I mean, look at what Inoue was able to do to TJ. You know, it's a completely different story to going up against Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is a world-class fighter, but Inoue is a different man. You know, it's different to going up against Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford, again, he's a world-class fighter, but it's very bloody different in my opinion. It is. Yeah, I feel like Inoue will be too much for him. I feel like Inoue's volume will be too much. But yeah, I don't know if this is in the plans for Inoue right now, though. There's still 2 more fights that have to happen, in my opinion, before he goes up to featherweight. And I feel like they are what's going to happen next year. And I feel like 2026 will be the year for Inoue versus Nick Ball. But it might not be, though. It might not be. It might not be. Inoue might have other plans before he goes to that fight. And, you know, Inoue might not fully feel like he is finished at super bantamweight. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Or there might be another, you know, bigger name champion that Inoue is going to want to go for over Nick Ball. Possibly a fight in America or something like that. You know, Inoue, I feel like, you know, Inoue follows legacy, but he's also going to follow that money as well at the end of the day. That is what's going to happen. For Nick Ball, though, what does he do next if it's not Inoue? I feel like that makes things interesting. I do want to see Nick Ball possibly try and unify the belts, possibly. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I feel like Nick Ball, I wouldn't mind seeing him go up against Stephen Fulton. Like, I wouldn't mind that at all. Espinoza. And I feel like for Inoue, if he is to move up, I reckon Inoue, when he first moves up to featherweight, I see him going up against Angelo Leo, if I'm being real. I feel like that could be the first champion that Inoue actually goes up against at featherweight instead of Nick Ball. I feel like the money is going to be more for the Angelo Leo fight. And I feel like the money could be more for the Rafael Espinoza fight is why I feel like, you know, there's going to be more money in those 2 fights for Naoya Inoue than there would be Nick Ball. That's why I feel like Inoue is saying until that day comes, let's increase each other's value. I feel like Inoue, you know, understandably probably does want to make the Nick Ball fight as big as possible. And as I said, you know, as I said at the start of the video, I don't think Inoue doesn't want, it's not in Inoue's plans because he's scared. He's not scared at all. I just feel like there's bigger name fights in Rafael Espinoza and Angelo Leo. They're the fights that Inoue is going to want to take, in my opinion. Or if, you know, for example, Bruce Carrington builds his way up and can get that title shot, then you never know. That could feel like a bigger fight for Naoya Inoue. That is something like if Bruce Carrington can beat like Stephen Fulton for the WBC, that is something. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It is going to be interesting. But I expect an Inoue move up to 126 in 2026. But I don't know if it's going to be that Nick Ball fight. I mean, Inoue is going to look to go up there and he's going to try and unify all the belts as soon as possible. But I don't know. Let's wait and see what Inoue does. But I can't imagine Inoue versus Nick Ball happening in Japan. I can't imagine that. I don't know. I feel like for Inoue versus Nick Ball to happen, I feel like that's a fight where Turki Al-Sheik's going to have to get involved in that, if I'm being real. I feel like Inoue versus Angelo Leo can happen in Japan. I feel like, you know, Inoue versus Espinoza can happen in Japan, or they could be fights that happen in America. I don't know. But I feel like for Nick Ball, I can only imagine that fight happening in Saudi Arabia. But will it happen at some point? Yes. But as of now, I don't think it's in Inoue's plans. But I'm pretty confident that Inoue would win that fight and it wouldn't even really be competitive. Anyway, that's what I think. But I would like to see Nick Ball go up against someone like Stephen Fulton, though, next. I feel like he's got to try and unify the belts. Or Ball versus Espinoza. Like, all versus Leo. He's got to unify the belts next. That is what he's got to do. I'm not interested in any other fight for him. Ball needs to unify the belts. And if he can do that, if Ball can unify the belts, then 2026 can be interesting because then I feel like Inoue could actually go into that fight straight away if Ball unifies the belts. No messing around, no waiting. Ball must unify. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Speak to you all in a bit.